We have such a wonderful story to share with you this morning, as during the early part of the 1900s, African American students, they weren't allowed to live on campus at Iowa State. So get this, a local couple stepped up, offering them a home away from home. As Local 5's Khalil Maycock spoke with a granddaughter of this couple about their efforts to help others. You join us now to share more as we continue to celebrate Black History Month. Good morning, Khalil.
Good morning, Jackie. And Archie and Nancy Martin's granddaughter says it warms her heart knowing what her grandparents did, and she's glad their story is now on display at the Ames History Museum.
This registered historic landmark once belonged to Archie and Nancy Martin. The couple, both born into slavery in the South, moved to Ames in the early 1900s, building this in 1919.
They were quiet. They were people of faith.
Mary Martin Carr, the granddaughter of Archie and Nancy, says that she has fond memories of her grandparents. She says during those years of being around them, she heard and saw amazing things, witnessing her grandparents give African-American male students enrolled at Iowa State University a place to stay, especially during a time when an unofficial rule didn't allow them to live on campus.
My grandparents lived in a first-floor bedroom. And then there were dorm-like rooms upstairs in the second story. Valued education because they didn't have that privilege.
Archie and Nancy opened their doors to the male students during the 1930s and 40s. It's unclear how many students stayed above them during those years, but Ames History Museum suspects around 20.
The Martins did their part to help these kids get their education and really were kind of surrogate parents to them. I know there's even stories of them, buying simple things like shoes and stuff for people that came to town and didn't have those simple, life and necessities.
And the Martins and 7 other African Americans who were influential in Ames are now on display in an exhibit at the museum called Black Trailblazers. Carr says it's exciting knowing others will get to read about the legacy her grandparents left behind.
We're glad they're honored.
And that exhibit, including Martin and the 7 other African Americans, will be on display until the end of the summer. Now that it's free to the public. And in 2004, a residence hall at Iowa State University was named in honor of Nancy and Archie.
What a wonderful honor and such a great story. And it's so incredible that that house still exists to show us literally that history. But we understand there was another house that isn't standing at this time, but was also very important.
Yeah, so African-American women who went to Iowa State University, they were housed in a home owned by the Ships. Now, the Ships was another African-American family in Ames who eventually, they kind of got together with the Martin family. But that home, like you said, is no longer around.
All right, still a part of our history and just some incredible people we're so happy to highlight this morning. Thank you very much, Khalil.